Hi guys, I'm Gabby. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bridal makeup trial of what my makeup is going to be on my wedding day. I'm getting married in November and I am going to be doing my own makeup. So this video is all about what I want my makeup to look like on my wedding day. So if you're interested, keep watching and let's dive right in. So I know that might look a little bit funny with these cat ears on, but I have to put them on, otherwise I can't do my makeup because all of my hair will come and sit on my forehead and it will bother me the whole time. So I'm gonna start off with my eyebrows. I always do my eyebrows first. And I really have been loving this Urban Decay brow blade. Unfortunately, it's too light of a color for me right now. So I'm going to have to go over it with a darker color, and this is the European Wax Center Browfection pencil. I go there to get my eyebrows waxed, and I got this pencil. It's a little chunky, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little bit too thick for me. I like this a lot better because it's more fine. But I'm going to have to go over it in this color because it's way too light for this one. So I'm going to apply my eyebrows and I'll be right back. So after I do my eyebrows, I always do my eyeshadow first because I always hate when there is powder on my face after I do my eyeshadow. So I'm going to use the MAC Painterly Paint Pot in Painterly. This is the only eye primer that has ever helped my eyeshadow not crease. I've tried many concealers and nothing has worked. So just apply a little bit, not too much, all over my eye, both of them. I'm not gonna make it super neat underneath my eyebrow because I want them to be, my eyebrows to be a little bit natural, not so defined. So I'm not going to clean them up too much. Sometimes if I have pimples or something, I will use this on top of it before my foundation, and it'll get rid of it pretty much. So for the eyeshadow, I think what I want to do is use the first Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette and Laura Lee Los Angeles's Nudie Patootie, the first one. So I'm just going to take, actually I'm going to take a little bit of setting powder and I'm gonna set my eyeshadow primer just a little bit so it's not too tacky. And now I'm gonna go in, well, a lot of my brushes are the Morphe Jaclyn Hill brushes. Those are my favorite to use, so that's what I'm gonna be using today. I am going to take these two and just work that through my crease. I don't want to say natural look because nothing about it is gonna be natural, but more neutral tones, but like with a lot of sparkle. So we'll see how it goes. Now I know I watched Jaclyn Hill's modern day bridal look, and that's where I'm getting my idea from her video, because she uses this palette in it. So I'm using a lot of the same colors that she is. Okay, just blend it out really well. Now I'm gonna take just a mixture of these three colors, pretty on the same brush. I'm gonna just mix them up and pretty much do the same thing. Just gonna really spend a lot of time blending it in. I'm trying to add more depth into my crease. So now I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm going to use this brown from the same palette. Not too much. And I'm gonna start deepening up the outer corner of my eyes. I know there has been a lot of problems with weddings and everything with COVID. I'm curious if anyone is planning to get married soon, what their experience has been, because my fiance and we aren't getting married at a venue. We're actually going to be going to a church and then to a restaurant right after, because we heard a lot of stories about people not getting their deposits back and it scared us. So we decided that we were just going to have it at a restaurant and not go crazy. So I'm wondering if anyone else did something similar. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side of my eye, my other eye. Just try to deepen out the outer corner just a little bit, not too much. Keep it like tighter in the crease, not so much so high as I did with the other colors. Now, as I said, this is just my first trial run because I'm probably going to be doing my own makeup on my wedding day. I wasn't really too fond of the idea at first just because I didn't want anything to stress me out anymore. But I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do my own makeup. So this is just the first trial. Not sure if you're interested in an update. Definitely let me know in the comments if you are. I could always update you guys when I decide. Okay. Now I'm just gonna take that same brush from before, nothing else on it, and just try to smooth it all out. Make sure there's nothing harsh because that bothers me so much. I hate harsh lines. Maybe I'm gonna deepen it up a little bit more. I have an idea in my head, but I kind of have a feeling that it's just not gonna work out the way I think it is. So we'll see. I'm not really sure. Okay. So now what I think I might do is I'm gonna take a little bit of what Jaclyn did in her video. She mixed these two colors together and put it on her eyelid, and that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna also put another color from Laura's palette on top of it, I think. So I'm gonna take, where is that? Just a brush like this, and I'm gonna mix those two colors together. Now I'm not going to spray it with any setting spray or anything because sometimes it like makes this weird texture on my eyelid. So I'm just gonna use it dry, and then after I use it dry with a brush, I like to apply it with my finger. So I'm just gonna put that all over the lid. And as I get closer to the inner corner of my eye, I'm gonna use more of the lighter color. Still mixing them both, but more of the lighter color because I want it to pop a little bit more. Yeah, and I'm gonna take the darker one on my finger and I'm gonna just place it like from the middle to the outer corner of my eye. Right, now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. So I'm just gonna take those two shades, put it all over my eyelid. And as I get closer to the inner corner of the eye, I'm gonna take a little bit more of the lighter shade than the darker shade. That lighter shade really pops the inner corner. Well, not inner corner, but closer to the inner corner. And that's what I wanted. So I'm gonna do the same thing with my finger in the darker shade. I'm gonna put it with my finger, the middle to the outer corner. Now, I am going to use Laura's palette, and I'm going to use Uncover. This one, it's like a champagne kind of color. I'm going to take that on the brush first, and I'm going to just see how it looks like in the front half of my eyelid. That's really pretty. I like that over that. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye, taking that color on the same brush. And I think I want a little bit deeper in my outer corner. So I'm gonna take Exposed and I'm gonna put it like on the outer corner. Now this color has a little bit of glitter, I think, reflex in it, and I don't know if you know this, probably not, but I am obsessed with glitter. So I want there to be as much sparkle, especially on my wedding day, as I can get. Kind of covering up the other eyeshadow that's underneath it, but that's okay. I like how this is turning out so far, but I think I want there to be a little bit more sparkle. So, oh, I have this Fenty Diamond Bomb, How Many Carats, the original, and this is my favorite highlighter. So I think I'm going to take some and put it on my eye, right over all of my eyeshadow. So, I don't know if you can tell, but it's so reflective. I'm just gonna stamp it on top. So like when I'm moving around, you'll be able to tell. Just a little bit extra, you know? Because I'm not sure if I want to actually use a glitter on my wedding day. But this highlighter is crazy, so I'm very happy with that. Okay. So now I'm going to take just a black eyeliner pencil. I'm using this Natasha Denona one in black. And I'm just gonna tight line my upper lash with this. I don't know if tight lining your upper lash bothers anyone else like it does me, but it makes my contacts blurry sometimes. And yes, I know I'm not supposed to pull, but I can't help it. I have to. So now I'm just gonna apply some mascara. I have been using the Essence Lash Princess, the green one. I got this recommendation from Nikkia Joy, and it's so cheap and so good. Now I have like no eyelashes, so I like to wear falsies. Otherwise, they're non-existent, basically. So now I'm gonna apply some false lashes. I just got these ones from TJ Maxx. I think they're called Cava, C-A-V-A. I can't remember. They came in a pack. I'm just gonna apply these and then I'll be right back. So I put my eyelashes on and I added some liquid eyeliner. I like the Fenty Beauty Flyliner. That's my favorite. So that's what I put right on top of my eyelashes. I'm going to start with my base. So I'm going to use a combination of the Cover FX Gripping Primer and the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. This gripping primer really helps the foundation stick to your face. It's a little bit sticky and tacky, but I like that. Not so much on my hands though. And this, the Tarte primer, actually both of them, I think, were recommendations from Tati. And I use both of these very often. Now I do have a little bit, well, I used to have really oily skin. And now it's oily, but it's not, it needs some moisture. So I have been using a more hydrating moisturizer. So now I'm going to go in with my foundation. So I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear. Really, because I like the full coverage and it is long lasting. It'll last me all day long, and that's exactly what I want. So I'm gonna use the Tati Beauty Sponge. Ever since that I bought this, I have never used the Beauty Blender again. So I'm just gonna put some on there and apply to my face. See, this is exactly why I have my ears on. Because if not, all of my hair would be on my face and now it would be stuck like glue, especially because of that primer. And if you're wondering, I have the color 1 and 2. I don't really know how to pronounce it. ECRU, Ecru maybe, I'm not really sure. It doesn't really match me too perfect right now, but I'm planning on having somewhat of a tan for my wedding day, so hopefully it will match me better then. I am getting married in November, so I'm not gonna be too tan at least. Definitely gonna make sure to get it all the way down my neck, and I'll probably try to pull it down here because my dress is strapless. So I just want it all to be the same color. Also get like red marks sometimes when I'm doing my makeup on my neck. Probably too rough, but I need to be more conscious about that. Definitely my ears. I plan on having my hair down, but I still don't want my ears to look bad. See? Ugh. Even with the ears, it'll get stuck on my forehead. Oh my gosh, do you see this? I love this sponge. I swear I have not used anything else to apply my foundation and my concealer ever since I got this. Now that I have my foundation on, I'm going to use the Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer. Now, I have always had problems with the wrinkles under my eyes. They've always creased on me, but this concealer has not creased. So this is my favorite concealer. I'm gonna put some under my eyes, a little bit on my nose, my forehead. And I don't really need too much more than one swipe either. It's tiny, but pretty much the only concealer that I've used that hasn't at least emphasized the lines underneath my eyes. And I hate when you apply concealer and then by the time you get to the other part that it's like dried to your skin and you can't move it around. This one doesn't really do that to me, at least. Now for setting powder, I try not to use this as often because it's not like I can't just buy another one, but it's the Nikkia Joy Velvet Finishing Powder, and this powder, it like smooths out my whole face. So I try to use it sparingly. Only kind of like a bake a little bit, not too much though. I really powder my forehead area because when I do get oily, that's where it goes. That's where the oils come in. I'm gonna put a decent amount of powder there, so it locks it in. This foundation does a pretty good job too, so the combination of the two controls my oils. I like to put some setting powder down my neck sometimes, wherever else I had foundation, just so it's not tacky, because I hate that feeling. Now I'm gonna feel, make sure I didn't miss any spots. Nope. I will leave this out. And it doesn't hurt that it smells pretty good too. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the Butter Bronzer. And I'm going to bronze up my skin because I'm looking flat. I don't like to go too overboard with the bronzer, just enough. And then if I find it's like a little too harsh, I'll take that Tati Beauty sponge and kind of work it out. And then I'm gonna take my Tati Beauty and just like work it all in. The sponge is really good because you can use it with pretty much cream, liquid, powder, anything that you have, really. So it's probably the only sponge that I'll probably ever use. Now I'm gonna take some setting powder. I'm gonna do it lightly. Lightly. Just carve out a little bit. I'm going to take the Kylie Cosmetics blush in Baddie on the Block and Winter Kissed and mix them together. I know she has, I don't know what it's called, but there's a blush shade that has both of these mixed in. I don't have that, so I just mix them together. Put them a little bit on my apples and then kind of back where my contour is. Not contour, but bronzer, rather. I don't like to go too overboard with the blush as well. Just enough. And then I'll do the same thing with my Tati Beauty sponge. Kind of wipe this off a little bit. It just makes it so seamless. So like there's no start and end. Now I'm going to take this Jaclyn Hill Luminous powder. Now I normally don't use powders like this, but this powder, it makes you have a glow, and it's not like a highlighter, but where's that brush? It makes you look radiant, and it kind of, see, gives you a radiance back to your skin, because I've used a lot of powder. A lot of mattifying powders, so I want to give some life back in. Definitely want that bridal glow. Just build it everywhere. I kind of use it as like in the same spots I will my highlighter, but who doesn't want extra glow? I definitely do. Now I'm going to take the Jaclyn Cosmetics, the Flash palette. The one for lighter skin, I think it is, yeah. And I love mixing the top two shades together. So that's what I'm going to do. Just like Jaclyn, I like a lot of highlight. Like I said earlier, I love sparkle. I use this all the time and I still am impressed every time I use it. I'm gonna save that for later because I'm gonna use that for my inner corner and my brow bone. But for now, I'm gonna take the Fenty Beauty again, and I'm gonna put that on top of the highlight because I have to. I just use my fingers because you don't need a lot. I'm gonna finish my eyes now on the lower lash line with the same colors that I used in the crease before. And I'm just gonna take a smaller brush. Again, it's from the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. So I'm going to take the same colors and just put it underneath. And now I'm going to take that deeper color again and just keep it on the outer edge. And now I'm going to buff it all out with it's the Jaclyn Hill again, JH40. I like to buff. Use this one to buff my bottom lashes out so that there's no harsh lines. I'm gonna add a little bit more of a deeper color and buff again. I'm going to use a white eyeliner for my waterline. This is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. I really love this eye pencil because it does stay all day and it is pretty white. The only thing I don't like about it is how chunky it is. So now I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills, I forget what it's called, but I use this so much. It's a brow gel. It's the colored one. I'm just gonna keep my eyebrows in shape. So now I'm gonna highlight the inner corner and the brow bone with the same two shades that I used in the Jaclyn Hill palette. I try to keep everything kind of cohesive. I use what's left on my brush up there. Maybe add a little bit more because they're very pigmented. Now for the lips, I'm just gonna line it with this NYX lip liner in Nude. And I'm going to put this Jeffree Star Celebrity Skin. It's my favorite color on my skin tone, and his formula, it stays all day long. It doesn't matter if I'm eating or anything. And you can barely feel it on. That's what's my favorite. So now I'm going to use the Farsali Rose Gold Skin Mist on my face. Because I want to add a little bit of life and moisture back into my skin. And I'm going to use the All Nighter setting spray as well. And I'm just going to pat everything in. And I always add bottom lash mascara after my setting spray because it sometimes gets all on my underneath my skin. I don't like that. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys liked this video. If you want an updated version of what I'm going to be doing for my bridal makeup, let me know in the comments and I'll make an updated version when it gets closer to our wedding. So if you haven't already, like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.